Looking at the cardiac cycle then, this is how the blood will flow through the heart, and it goes through a very important route. As the heart beats, it's creating a pressure, and that pressure transfers through all the vessels and through the heart. And what we've got is a systolic pressure to start with, and this is when the heart beats and it's pumping the blood out of the heart, and this pressure is placed onto the artery walls. We've also got diastolic pressure, and this is what's happening when the heart is relaxed. So even though it is relaxed, there's still a level of pressure in there. So when we exercise, the systolic pressure will increase because the heart needs to work a lot harder to meet the demands of the working muscles. Now your diastolic pressure will remain the same, or might drop a little bit, and that's simply due to the initial moment of vasodilation. So as you start exercising and the demands need to be met in the legs of a cyclist, the blood vessels need to open, and as all the blood vessels open, there's a slight drop in the diastolic blood pressure. So 120/80 is a normal blood pressure on a blood pressure core 4 measurement. 120 is the measurement for systolic, and 80 is the measurement for diastolic. So that's what the normal blood pressure is. This is a quick graph that just shows us the shift in blood flow when we start to exercise. So looking at the left hand side first, you've got the difference in percentages. The major difference here is the muscles. So looking at the skeletal muscle as we start to exercise, going from 20% up to 73%, and these are all rough calculations, but 73% of the blood is going to the working muscles. Now that drops the brain from 13 to 4. Okay, the heart will always remain the same because it needs its own blood supply, but this drop in the brain could be a good reason as to why many professionals lose concentration towards the end of a game. Due to body heat, the skin, the blood surface of the skin, we get blood there, so that increases a little bit. And then you look at the vital organs. Now, because we're exercising and the demand is now in the muscles, we don't really need these big percentages in the vital organs, so they all drop. Now, this is how the cardiac cycle works. It is an electrical system. So a signal gets sent from the brain, from the medulla oblongata, to an area of the heart called the sinoatrial node, or the SA node. And as soon as that's been hit, it pings like a wave of energy or a wave of electrical impulses across the two left and right atria. Now this electrical impulse will contract those. Now as soon as that impulse then hits the next section, which is the atrioventricular node, or the AV node, that will then send the impulse along the left and the right ventricles, and then that is then the contraction. Now this contraction moves down through the heart through what we call the bundle of His, and this carries the signal from the AV node down the central wall and around the ventricles to conduct the electrical activity. Now the Purkinje fibres are found in the endocardium, so it's that inner layer of the muscle wall of the heart. So this will receive the electrical impulse and assist with the contraction of atria and ventricles. And as we can see it there in a little bit more detail. The way we control the heart, it is involuntary. It's not something we can choose to speed up or slow down just by doing nothing. We can only speed it up by exercising. What we've got two important things. We've got the sympathetic nervous system to start with. Now, you got to think sympathetic might be something, you know, you'd be sympathetic with someone, you want to calm them down, and it's like, it's okay. But in this case, it means speeding everything up. So our sympathetic nervous system will accelerate the heart rate. It will, say, start making you sweaty and clammy. It'll increase the body temperature, and in many ways increases stress levels all around the body. So you get a special neurotransmitter at the SA node, and that helps to speed up the heart rate. The parasympathetic is the opposite. So anything to try and calm someone down, you know, bring the temperature back down to normal. The heart rate, for example, comes back to normal. This helps to bring someone back to a more relaxed state. So those are the two systems that are used to control the heart rate. How does this work then? We've simply got the P wave, the Q, S, and the T wave in there, and that's your ECG. And we'll play this video when we're in lesson.